Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to the SRF Weekend Warriors presented by RaceVoice here on Apex Racing TV. It's week 8 of the championship as we head to South America and more specifically the mighty, the epic Interlagos in Brazil. It's something of a throwback circuit built in the 1940s and updated just enough over the years to satisfy the demands of Formula 1 without destroying its essential character. Drivers love it, spectators love it, though with its historical and primitive paddocks, the teams, they're not quite so keen on it, but, well, what can we say? It's going to be a great night. I am Tim Cox. As always, I'm joined by Adam Hadfield. We've got Jonathan Rousey in the production booth with us as well. Adam, we're on the eve of Valentine's Day, and this championship, it's like a never-ending summer romance. It's full of excitement, it's full of drama. However, this just keeps going and going, rather than lasting for a few weeks.
Hi everyone, welcome into Brazil. Yeah, it's a long-running one, isn't it? We're into round 9, week 9 of our affair with the Spec Racer Ford. It's going to be another classic, I imagine, round what is a much beloved circuit, that's for sure. Circuit with such classic corners, the SRF, down to Interlagos at Turn 4, Junção, Magulo, all these names bringing up memories of some fantastic racing in the past. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Definitely, we've got qualifying. That's just coming to an end right now, and well, they're the usual protagonists there at the front end, as we normally come to expect them. Nom is currently on pole. Austin Winner in second, joining on that front row. Naselli in third, who we're just on board with right now. I have a bit of a new name up the front there. Rasmus Rory in fourth place, second row of the grid, and Bobby West looking like he's putting in an absolutely epic qualifying, as you see qualifying coming to the very, very end as they head up into their 5-minute warm-up very shortly, and then we'll head off down to turn 1 for 14 minutes of thrills, spills, action and drama. Now, obviously this series, as always, it's supported and sponsored by RaceVoice. If you're looking for a simple way to transform complicated performance data into easy to understand voice notifications alerts, they have over 16 different notifications, including up and down shifts, over rev alerts, corner entry, turn in and exit speeds. It provides immediate feedback on driver and vehicle performance. Now let's just take a little look at the championship standings. So let's head across to Spec 1 first of all, and what can we say? With 5 wins to his name, 8 finishes inside the top 5. Aeronom leading the way by a very comfortable margin over Austin Winner, 229 points clear. However, with Winner's great performance last time out at Oran, that's displayed himself from Tony Bartman in that battle for second place. Jorgen Marley still within just about catching distance, 73 points adrift of Bartman. We've got Miroshek in 5th place as well, not too far behind. So that battle for second still very much up for grabs. Yang Ji Lin is occupying 6th, then we've got Arabian. Dantas, West and the Sully rounding out your top 10. Let's head down to Spec 2. Wow, Favini, he leads the way. It's a much more tighter affair in Spec 2. Alan McCain, he's only 5 points behind, with Green only a further 6 points behind then. So 11 points covering our top 3. And Darlow, he's not far behind either. He's signed on points with Gibson for 4th place on 357. We've got Jackson, Britanga, Broadhurst, Walbot and Flores to round out your top 10. And that Spec 2 championship is really, really tight. Into Masters, well, once again, it's been the story of Chris Murakami this season. Like it was last season, 103 points clear at the top, 3 race victories to his name. He is definitely the man to beat in Masters. Tom Gradwell, he is in 2nd place, and only 36 points behind him is Jim Brewster occupying that 3rd position. Bit of a changeover this week. Stevie Ray dropping a couple of places. He joined us in the commentary booth last time out at Oran Park with a self-imposed penalty. And that means that Bradshaw has elevated himself up 1 place, and likewise Bob Kern, he's jumped up 2 places thanks to great results last time out. We've got Cantor in 7th, Batley, he is in 8th, Love in 9th, and Antonio Race with 1 victory still to his name, he is in 10th place at the moment in the championship. Adam, I mean, it's, what can we say? I mean, I know you've summed it up already, really well. There's so many great corners at this circuit that are evocative of, and bring back memories of such great racing over the years. I mean, I think turn 1 or curve 1, the center S's, however you want to name it, definitely a big overtaking opportunity, especially with these cars to the slipstream. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, to see that Interlagos turn 4 or 3, depending on how you want to look at it, another great overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, Interlagos is one of my bogey corners whenever I drive here. It's a downhill braking zone. It's very easy to get sucked in and overshoot that one. We'll see if that's a problem tonight for these cars. Obviously, last week we were at Oran Park, a very different kettle of fish. That one, tight, twisty. We actually had a few breakaways at the front with Winner and Nom challenging for the win last week. I'm not expecting to see any breakaways here tonight. Lots of draft to keep these cars tucked up underneath each other. Big battles I'm expecting all night.
As you say, incredibly different circuits for last week. Obviously, Oran Park, tight, short, technical, twisty, narrow. Whereas Interlagos, like you say, plenty of slipstreaming opportunity, plenty of overtaking opportunity, a nice wide track. I mean, too wide is just every day. We don't even bother about that within Weekend Warriors, but I get the feeling there's going to be some 3, possibly even 4 wides, especially down in that run down to the center S's. Just on board with Antonio Rice right now, and we're just going to head down to it. I mean, It's just, we know what these drivers are like. They love a good overtaking maneuver, and I can see plenty of people getting in the slipstream, that long run down to turn 1 and really having a good old battle into the center S's. But of course it's not over just on entry point. There's still a chance for the drivers to fight back, and I think we're going to see that same battle resume, like you say, all the way down to Interlagos. But also, Juncal, effectively the last proper corner on the circuit, that tight left-hander before you head up the hill and start the climb and then the descent down to turn 1. And I think potentially a bit of the battle of the get my words out in a minute, last of the late breakers, of people trying to get past there as well.
Yeah, potentially. Juncao's another one that I've got to say I'm not a fan of in iRacing. There's a lot of leeway on the entrance on the outside, so I'm just interested to see how many of these drivers are going to be crossing that white line and crossing the AstroTurf that's out there to get the best drive up the hill. We might see now we're watching Justin Huffman approaching that section, just on the inside at the moment. Justin, one of the names to look out for tonight, is racing with his dad. Justin is the dad, Jameson his son. He was qualified 30 places ahead of him, I think, so the bragging rights going to Jameson tonight. As we've just come down into Junction, as we mentioned, let's see. Yeah, crossing the white line, not overdoing it though. I know some drivers like to get right out into the blue there if they can get away with it.
Nice chunk of understeer there from Huffman, and as he heads round a member of the SCCA and races in real life Formula Enterprise 2. Interesting to see if he can translate some of that real life racing skill and racecraft across into the sim world. We're around about 30 seconds away from the end of the warm-up before we'll then be able to bring you up with your grid here. And it's a packed field once again. 53 runners and riders here in this championship. As we said, last time out when we were chatting to Stevie Ray when he joined us out in the commentary booth, it's so well supported, this championship, and always, every single week, it's a max grid.
Yeah, it's not hard to see why. The quality of the racing and the respect these guys show to each other. There's no wonder they keep coming back week after week, because it's just good fun. How else are you going to spend your Sunday night in a race situation?
Well, exactly. What better way to spend your night? And definitely this championship, not just one for the racers, but also one for the neutrals as well. As we were saying earlier, never fails to deliver action with a quality circuit like Interlagos. Wow. Somebody's going to light the blue touch paper and it's going to all happen. And just be able to bring you up with your grid. Here it is. So Aerodom, he's on pole. Austin Winner joining him on the front row. Naselli has the newcomer Rory on the second row with him. Bobby West, good qualifying from him. He's got Duda Castro alongside the company on the third row. Yogmani has Evandro Dantas with him. Fabio Andalo, Peter Miracek make up your fifth row. Antonio Rice, last time we visited here last season, he got it onto the front row, the Masters driver, and then it all fell apart for him. This time out, he's on the sixth row with fellow Masters driver Murakami. Moving down through the grid, we've got Jameson Huffman, as we mentioned, one of the drivers. He's got Thomas Renders, another newcomer to the championship with him. Then he's got Viger, Favini, Yang Lin, well down. He's in 17th with Alan McCain, Kurt Nunes and Andrew Love, and all Masters row on the 10th row of the grid. Then we've got Brewster and Nelson. Adam Bradshaw has got Jason Green with him for company. Samuel Dick and Todd Hansen then makes up a, well, 3 consecutive row for the All-American with fellow commentator here at Apex Racing TV, Austin Knight, and series organiser Stevie Ray. Sanchonela Lopez take you up to 30th, then we've got Butenga Labati, Gibson, Vogel, Leone, Justice take you up to 36, McGuinness, Cantor, Santiago, and Chespadini up to 40. Bob Kern, he's got Paul Jackson with him with Justin Husband, Simon Mayer, qualified well down, expected to see him come through the field in 44th. Bruno Conti and Vaccaro, they're 45th, 46th. McGinn and Waldbolt take you up to 48th. Batley, Bertoni, we know he qualifies badly, but he comes through the field. Keep one eye out for that Uruguayan and see how many places he can make up. It's normally up into high teens and into the 20s. It's going to be interesting. Marcus Burkett and Marta making the last full grid with Flores rounding out your field, and we're just heading behind the Porsche 911 safety car. As always, always a rolling start within this championship. You see a long line of 4 spec racers. The anticipation building. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to get the run down into turn 1? How much of a breakaway group are we going to get out at the front? Well, it's not long to find out indeed. So just coming up towards the pit entry. The safety car's going to pull in. And will they go straight away? Let's find out. Safety car is in. Here come the leaders and decide Aeronom going quite late and getting a real jump on winner. So much so Naselli has managed to come right alongside, but Ferrari's going to have an attack. Aeronom's going to get into turn 1 ahead of everyone, but winner's just going to sneak into that second. And we've got Castro as well trying to come through. So they come through the center S's for the first time. Just looking in the background, looks like everyone getting through cleanly, side by side, up and down the field. To see Renders there, the Dutchman, trying to make a move. He's got the 22 of Viger alongside him. However, up the front, it's all happening. So we've got just in the background there, that's Bobby West trying to get a move done. As the leaders come around for the first time, round Ciudad del Lago and head up the hill. This is where it gets interesting. Not really much a chance to overtake into this section. However, we've said that so many times before, Adam, and we've seen the mate overtakes where it shouldn't even be possible.
Yep, 53 cars managed to snake their way through the centre S cleanly. I think we lost a couple on the exit though. I saw a couple of spinners right in the very back. We might catch a replay of that one coming up. But Nom stays in the lead. It was interesting to see all the way up to the start. He was right on the bumper of the safety car. Obviously didn't want to get a big run and have everyone draft up his backside up with the start and finish straight. So he held on to the safety car and only had a short run to the start line. Here we go. Here's our replay. Let's see what happened.
Oh, a bit of argy-bargy. Wow, the number 4 all over the track. Cars littered across, and wow, it was a big accident at the rear of the field. There's cars absolutely everywhere, strewn across the track. Wow, I think you caught a couple of them, but I don't think you caught quite that many. I mean, caught up in that Jackson, Petoni, Batley, Marta, Labate, Vogel, Leone, and Sanchinelli as well. All caught up in that melee, in that, well, just out of the center S's.
Yeah, it just seemed to go on and on, didn't it? That we were right at the back, only a few cars still to snake their way by, but unfortunately they all seem to get caught out by it. Let's see, on board point of view from Jackson. Oh, and he's just going to get tapped by a driver cutting across his nose.
Quite catch who that was. Yeah, he managed to, well, then he's got the big wreck in front of him. Oh, no, enough. He's been nudged from behind that sent him round into the barrier. Wow, Jackson tried to keep out of trouble, and the innocent bystander in all that, and wow, caught out big time. So we head back to the live action. Antonio Rice, he's trying to make some progress. Jameson Huffman, he's trying to slot it up the inside, just snaking through. Murakami trying to make some moves. Dantas just ahead. Rice now ticked right up onto the bumper of Alan McCain. He's had a cracking start. He's up 6 places already. One of the biggest riders so far are Flores standing 43rd, joined with Santiago in 29th, both up 10 places. Still plenty of time left to go. We've completed 3 minutes out of the 40. And, well, still everything very much to play for here at Interlagos, and this is where the slipstream begins. Everyone's tucked up behind one another. See Huffman, he's talking about being sucked up behind one another. I mean, tell you what, if these cars had 2 seats, he'd be practically sat in the passenger seat of Antonio Race's car right now. And well, there's a bit of bump drafting going on there, Adam, on the run down to turn 1.
Yeah, giving a push along the start, finish straight there. 2 cars going faster than 1. Makes good on just moving out of from under his bumper as they enter the braking zone. Very easy to get sucked in too deep and then just punting your partner off if you miss your braking point there. Race, unfortunately, he's lost 2 positions off the start, and Murakami once again leading the Masters, made an excellent start up to 7th place. So those 2 guys have swapped in the battle of the Masters. Meanwhile, we've got 3 in a line, 2 abreast.
Well, free wide even. Well, Bradshaw just that's the back out of it there. Elson and Favini just ahead of him, trying to make it free wide into the scene of Interlagos, just decided against it. And very well, you could argue wisely so. You got Yang Xilin, I tell you what, he's really struggled in these open laps. He's down 5 places so far. And it almost feels like he's holding up the traffic. It's a bit of a rare one, really, because Lin, we're normally used to seeing battling it out with the likes of Nom, Win and Naselli right at the front, and Hansen. Well, where did Yang Xilin all of a sudden come from there? Just slotted it up the inside of Hansen. You see him just ahead of this. Sorry, Adam.
I was about to comment, he was on the outside of the battle there, which is the wrong place to be, maybe why he's been slipping back, but he quickly turned it to the inside and grabbed a couple of places back. Excellent work in 22nd now, and all over the back of Love.
Well, you can see Miroshek getting the shovel on there from Andalo. I mean, yeah, there you go. Bump drafting, definitely the order of the day, but look at what's happening in front of them. West, Murakami and Dantas going to go free wide on the entry to the center. Dantas just backs out of it, and Bobby West is going to get himself up into 7th place and pump the tires, making the background. That was just a lockup, no drama there, and somehow everyone snakes through. West is, I tell you what, he's pulled out a few attempts over Murakami, where get a much better exit off the center S's, but you see in the background once again, it's free wide down to the seat of Largo. Even the 22 there, Viger looking, trying to potentially make it four wide, sorry, but they'll back out, and definitely it seems to be very respectful at the moment. No elbows out, and everyone knows this seems to be more of a battle of nutrition and trying to get through this rather than make lunges early on.
Yeah, guys have got to work together tonight. You're never going to be able to pull a great big gap with so much draft up the main straight, climbing the hill there. So those guys working together, the ones we've already seen literally pushing each other along, they should be travelling faster than anyone that's battling going 3 wide into turn 1. It's risky, you're going to lose time, and you could potentially lose the plot if you go off.
See our leader here, Aero Nom. He is leading from winner in 2nd place by 4 tenths of a second. This group, very top 5. The breakaway group very tightly compact. Naselli currently occupying 3rd, and Fury and Castro just tagging along for company. They have managed to drop the 2nd group. That's being Marnie's in a little bit of a bubble of space by himself. You see him just in the background. However, sure, Wimbledon, he's then enveloped by the group behind him with West, Miroshek, Dantas. Well, that ends pretty much all the way down to Huffman in 15th place, but Murakami right now, he's got Dantas tucked up right behind him. Well, I didn't even see Miroshek on the outside there as he heads through, or does he? Murakami just sucking on the inside drive, looking for the switchback. Dantas just has to back out of it, and Murakami pushing Miroshek literally now on the exit of the corner. And he's going to have the slipstream. He pulls out. Dantas swings right across to the inside of the track. They almost bump big mirrors there. And Dantas is going to pick everyone's pocket. Or as Murakami tries to hang it on right round the outside. And Miroshek there, the big loser. But he's trying to fight back, trying to find an opening opportunity. Looking left, looking right. Trying to find some clear air, but can't because the track is, I would say blocked, but Murakami and Dantas maintaining that position and that stronghold at the front of this pack.
Yeah, this is the kind of racing that Murakami... Oh, no! Round goes Miroshek.
Oh,
and
no!
He's being flattered into as well by Race.
Oh, I tell you, Race, you've got a feel for him. He just can't catch a break here at Interlagos. As we said before the show, before the race even, he put it on pole last time on the front row of the grid, last time we visited here, and then didn't get past the first lap, and well, once again, a bit of a struggle for him. Let's take a little look at it from above, exactly how this unfolded. You see Miroshek there, he's tucked up right behind Dantas, and oh, he just started losing the rear end. Rice, he had nowhere to go. Tapped in, which then brought Miroshek right across the front of him, and well, I mean, Mirashek didn't get away with that too badly, but even so did lose a fair few places.
Yeah, interesting to see what kind of damage they're now carrying as well. Obviously, Rice will have the front nose all skew with. Mirashek might have some suspension damage. Oh, as we saw someone sliding off in the background there as well. I'm watching Lynn, currently in the top 16. Was it Favini suddenly dropping a couple of places just there?
I didn't quite catch who it was. As we've got another overtake move on the go here as Lopez just trying to find a way past Brewster. We see Mirashek just coming under a bit of pressure in the background, but this fight definitely isn't over one little bit as Brewster fights back. He's going to look to hang around the outside here. They come round, Federa, and into this complex section, decides against it, just backs out. Lopez holds on to that 17th place for now for Vini. Right up in amongst these guys. But also, so is Love. But, well, I mean, this group, once again, is always competitive. But, however, Bobby West, I tell you what, he's just been quietly and, yeah, really played into his hands, everyone battling, because he's actually pulled around about 3 seconds on this group right now.
Yeah, he's done a great job to pull away, not offering the slipstream behind them anymore. And he's going to be looking forward to Jörg Manny, who's another driver kind of out on his own. These two guys in 6th and 7th place. I feel for Jörg. He can see the top 5. They're only a couple of seconds away from him, but he can't quite put in the laps times to pull them in. Let's see what he does this time round. A 1:48 flat. He's matched Nom though. He's matched Nom on that lap, and I think he has kind of been matching them, but he just can't close in. He wants those 5 in front of him to battle so that he can run some clean lap times and pull it back to him. Hopefully he'll be thinking that West won't catch him, but that's yet to be decided.
I mean, this is the danger, isn't it, with a circuit like this where you're highly dependent on the draft. You get cut adrift from the group that you're in. It's incredibly difficult to try and pull it back and get back onto it, as just see battles happening all amongst this group as Huffman just trying to hold off McCain there in the background. It's just it. So Jameson, Huffman just ahead of him. That freeway battle between Dantas, Murakami and Weigert now involved in it is really starting to hot up. Let's just look back through the field. There we go. You can see Dantas, Murakami just will not leave him alone right now.
To be honest, I think he's actually let Dantas sort of lead this pack. Dantas has been sticking his nose in a couple of times. I think Murakami is now quite satisfied to sit on the back of him. We'll see as Dantas goes a little bit defensive there. I imagine Chris Murakami is thinking, no, just keep your eyes forward. I want us to set some times and not let the guys behind catch back up.
To see them head on the run down to Young Cow. Who's going to come out on top? The run down to turn 1. The center S's. Can Murakami slot it up the inside of Dantas? We ride on board with Murakami right now. Watch this gap tumble in the draft. Here he comes. Dantas, you imagine he's going to go defensive to the inside. He looked like he was going to initially. Murakami, the overspeed, and well, there you go, utilising the bump draft. Dantas, he nearly lost it there. Just a large closing speed from Murakami.
Yeah, it unsettled him a little bit, didn't it? These cars do have little wedge noses. They could quite easily get under there and lift the car in front. Meanwhile, Aaron Nom's dropped to 3rd all of a sudden. Has he made a mistake at the opening of this lap? Because Winner's now out in the lead, followed by Naselli. Those two have suddenly benefited. Let's see if this replay shows anything.
So that's Winner bump drafting him. And is Nom going to say, do you know what, I've had enough? No. Oh, he's locked up. Oh, and that's what's cost him those 2 places. A rare respect from the Estonian. And well, he even nearly loses 2 further places there, looking at it, actually.
Yeah, it's not like Austin shoved him into the braking zone there, is it? It was just a gentle bump tap up the main straight, but maybe Aero arrived a little bit quicker than he realised and just locked it up there. It's easily done. Obviously the front left goes light as the track falls away to you on the inside, and if you're not lined up right you can easily overshoot.
Can do indeed. And what was a top 5 group now starting to separate out a little bit. Got a breakaway top three of Winner and Naselli and Nom. Castro and Viori have dropped off a little bit. I'll tell you what, Yogmani, he's starting to come into play a little bit. That gap between himself and Viori and Castro is starting to close down as they're duking out down to turn one. Viori just getting ahead of Castro there. I mean, don't discredit Bobby West. We know what he's about. Murakami's just made it past there. Well, Dantas has actually dropped 2 places to Murakami and Viger. That battle for 8th place, there they are. And that is, I think, is that Huffman tucked up right behind them as well. So he's come along to join the party. Well, here we go. The party's definitely not, it's not even over yet. There's a slipstreaming one another heading down to the scene of El Lago. Murakami once again utilising that bump draft, and well, Dantas, I'll tell you what, he's just really backing out of it. He just let Huffman through there.
Yeah, Dantas backing out of it entirely. For a second there, I wondered if he had a slowdown, but now on the back of these 4, Huffman obviously done well to catch up. Behind them, Yongshi Lin leads the next battle. There's 3 cars there. They'll be hoping to make this a 7-way fight, all battling for 8th place overall. I think, to be honest, actually, why Viger unsettled Murakami coming through turn 3 there. They were bump drafting. Bump drafting on a corner doesn't always work well. And I think it just unsettled Murakami and unseated him from his racing line, and that's why he lost out. Meanwhile, we join Hansen, Brewster and Dick having a battle over 16th place at the moment.
It's incredibly tight. I tell you what, Mayer, he's not too far behind either himself. It's to see him coming through, closing up with these guys. We said he qualified well out of position. Up to 19th so far, up 25 places. There he is in the number 5 Ford Spec Racer. And can he make up even more places potentially? Wow, still plenty of time left on the clock. 16.5 minutes completed. Your top 10 right now. Winner, Naselli, Nom, Viori, Castro, Marni, West, Viger, Huffman, and then Murakami. Obviously, Murakami leading in Masters right now. Andalo leading in Spec 2. He's in 13th. And Murakami sitting pretty right now. Bit of a gap between himself and Bradshaw. So we see Andalo right in this battle with Lynn and Bradshaw, and Lynn just can't shake off these guys around him. Andalo giving Lynn the hurry up, pushing him along down the rest of the post there. Oh, wow, almost Bradshaw getting involved and almost getting right into the back of them as well.
Thought that was contact inbound then. He was so much later on the brakes. Did an excellent job to not lock up and slow it down just about in time. Maybe have left a little bit of paint on the rear there, but all still live to fight another day. Meanwhile, we've got Kern and Cantor going side by side, is it? Up the inside.
Yeah, that's Favini's in there as well. The Swede really mixing things up at well down from where we normally expect him. Roughly about, I'd say probably about 10 to 15 places below where we would normally expect to see the Swede. However, he's having a cracking little battle right now with Kern, Gibson, Lopez and Cantor just ahead of him. A intriguing little 5-way battle, and just all about staying behind, you know, tucked up behind one another. You can utilise that draft all the way down the start-finish straight. Well, I say straight, it's got 2 great big kinks in it, so it's not quite as straight, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we get your point. Here we go with Marnie. He has caught up with the 2 in front. Viori and Castro have been battling. It's taken them off the fight for the podiums, and it's brought Marnie into it. So now we've got 2 groups of 3.
We have indeed, as Marnie is close right into the back of these guys, and well, it's played right into these hands, and he has a bit of a look up to the inside of Castro there. Well, I was going to say thinks against it, pulled back in, but then had another secondary look, and I'm not sure if it was just me, but it almost looked like he got a little bit squirrely on the brakes. The rear end seems to be moving around a bit for Yogmani.
Yeah, he might have got a little bit unsettled by early braking from in front. The 3 of them were very close in together. The closer you are, the earlier you've got to brake to make sure you don't flap into the back of the car in front. So he might have just been unseated by that. Unfortunately for Jörg, I thought for a second he might be joining a battle for the leader with 6 cars, but these two having fallen off the back, he's now only battling for 4th for the moment. Oh,
it's Viger.
Running out wide there. Yeah, Viger. Dantas goes around the outside, so does Murakami. Huffman's coming through all 3 of these. We were talking about him just getting onto the back of this group a couple of laps ago. He's now leading it, and he's got a bit of space between himself and Murakami as well.
James and Huffman having an absolute field day here. Let's take a look at what happened to Viger. So, is he going to run it in a bit too deep? He's got Huffman behind, who backs out of it. There we go, runs in too deep. And that's what cost him all that time in those places. Nearly loses it when he on the rejoin there as well.
Yeah, I noticed Murakami went in very deep into the next corner as well, obviously trying to leave as much space as possible for the rejoin. It cost him a little bit at the time, but he's immediately back on the rear of Huffman, and in fact maybe taking 8th place.
Viger is the first of our top groups. He's into the pits. Likewise, Lynn, he is in as well. Mayer, he's into Bradshaw, Nunes. It's all happening down on pit row. It's runnable with Naselli right now. That is Austin Winner ahead of us. It's over half a second covering our top 3 right now. So we look back from there, and I'll tell you what, these 3, we know that they'll just keep with one another, and it's like a game of poker, not wanting to show their hand too early, and then all of a sudden it happens within the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if anyone wants to break the pack at the front there and dive into the pits. Meanwhile, we've got another battle brewing back here. Dick, Brewster, Hanston, Renders and Darlow all in this for 11th place.
It's an absolutely epic battle over 11th place right now. Renders currently just at the front of this group. And Darlow just starting to break away a little. We're right on board with Jamie McGuinness and Britt. Currently in 15th right now, 3rd in class in Spec 2. However, looming right behind him is Hansen, who's currently occupying that 4th place in class and will be desperate for a Spec 2 podium here in Brazil. As you see, well, we were expecting it down into Young Cal. That's one of the back marks. So he's the 48 there, just moving out the way. That is Sean Bongian moving over to allow that group through, but we see our lead group just extended out, expanded out a little bit more. I've just suddenly spotted Naselli. He's ahead of Winner, so I'm guessing he must have slipstreamed past him into turn 1 here, Adam.
Yep, we've got a new leader for the first time tonight. All 3 of the front 3 have now taken their time at the front. I think it's going to be a simple draft by here, isn't it? No defence offered by Austin, and Naselli slides by into the lead. Before the previous battle, I was just going to mention, I wonder if any of these guys are thinking about saving a little bit of fuel in the slipstream. They let the others do the work and then spend less time in the pits topping up.
Well, funnily enough, I was just about to ask you about that one, Adam, and whether that's, a bit of the strategy being played out here where they almost don't want the lead because they won't be able to, sit behind their competitors and just slipstream behind one another and just save as much fuel.
Yeah, it's a definite possibility, although now all 3 of them have taken their chances at the lead, so any fuel saving has obviously been spread between the 3 of them. You've also got to think that one of them has got to lead, because if they don't, they'll soon fall back towards Vori, Castro and Marnie, so they've got to keep the pace up, and whoever's at the front has got to really drive it like they stole it, otherwise they'll soon lose that time. But yeah, let's see when they actually do come into the pits if anyone has managed to just make a couple of tenths saving there and maybe get out in front by race end.
So you saw Lopez and Favini there going side by side, pretty much through all of the S's there, and Pinarino. As we see once more, a similar situation here between Hanston and McCain. McCain just having to back out of it a little bit. However, that 3-2-1 of Conti just behind them, really looking to get in amongst these 2 and really start to pick things off with the scrapping that's going to happen. We've got over, it's a shade over 15 minutes left here. Oh, But Conti, you can see just how, wow, he's just lit up the rears there on the exit out of Young Cow. And that's going to cost him dearly because he's dropped right off the back of McCain and Hansen right behind him. And here comes Mirashek looking to get the move done. They're going to go 3 wide. Antonio Rice, he's wanting a bit of the action. They're going to run out of room, are they? Rice almost hits the wall to the pit entry. As they come down to the center S's, you see Rice is getting past and taking command of this group. Mirashek behind, and Conti demoted a place. He's at 21 places, so be happy with that one. Flores, he's a couple of places behind these guys and very much in this battle. He's at 27 places so far. A little bit of that is down to pit stops as well. The fun continues. Down to the Interlagos here, Adam.
Yeah, we've got Flores and Nunez side by side. Whoa, way out wide. Using all the track, the runoff, and some tarmac on the outside there. They all pull it back on. I would wonder about 1Xs and possible penalties if they start driving those particular lines. But all back in a line now. It's a little bit crazy at the top of the 20s, isn't it?
It is indeed. It's definitely hotting up. That's Rory. That's one of the first of our lead group in. Castro's in as well. See those two covering each other off. Marnie has continued on once more. We're flicking through the gears there from Castro. Interestingly, Naselli still leading from winner, and then Nom in that last podium position at the moment. Just be happy to. Must be like the sweeper at the back, you know, just happy to sit behind him. Oh, is there a bit of contact there? Yes, there is. Conti runs wide. He's going to lose place after place after place here. Nunez pass, Love pass, Flores pass, and even, well, Flores just about flies back. Oh, Love cuts right in behind there. So that was Dick getting past.
Let's see it on the replay. Is it a mistake all on his own? Comes in hot, and yeah, just overcooked it, and then out onto the wrong side of the rumble strips. Unfortunately, we saw Flores taking a really tight line, jumping over the curves on the inside through the kink there. That's not what you want to be doing if you want to keep these cars all in one piece. Meanwhile, we're 3 wide.
We are three wide once more. It's just another daily occurrence here in the SRF Weekend Warriors as we see Hansen leading this group. He's got McCain, he's got Rice behind him. Incredibly tight between these guys, and just see in the background there, Mirashek and Renders having a bit of a squabble. That is over 23rd place. So far, York Marnie, he is into the pits from 4th. I'll be interested to see where he comes out in relation to Vuria and Castro, currently in 9th and 10th at the moment. As here comes the Swiss driver, balls up, takes on his fuel. The anticipation builds of where he is going to come out. Where is Vuria? Where is and where is Castro? So they're coming round turn 1. York Marnie's heading out. Not sure, but I think he might have even potentially lost a little bit of time, or is he going to? Let's find out. He's on the exit. There's Bury. You can just see him over to the right-hand side. It looks like actually he's going to get a jump on Dantas. I think he's going to slot right in between these two here, Adam, and comfortably.
Castro, sorry, number 73 there, in 10th at the moment. So yeah, he's managed to gain 1 position there through the pit stop phase. These guys losing about 30 seconds in the pit lane. And I did wonder if Marnie might have played it smart by just staying out that lap longer, but comes out in the middle of them. So these 3 are all going to be battling for the rest of the race. We're just waiting on our front 3 now. They've all got to come down the pit lane, as well as Bobby West and Huffman. Dantas as well there in 6th, and our leader in the Masters, Murakami.
We have indeed Brewster, Lopez, Cantor and Kern, the only other drivers yet to pit. They are currently occupying 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th respectively. That is a bit of contact there, and Hansen comes off the worst with Antonio Rice. And well, Hansen really has been in the wars today here, Adam.
We've got Naselli in the pits just to switch gears there. Naselli and Bobby West
as well. So, the first of our lead group in, Winner and Nom decided to carry on. Are they going to come out with one another? Let's take a look at the replay. What happened to Hansen? Gonna have Bryce just on the inside of us here, and Rice just runs it in deep, runs it wide, and he gets away with it, whereas Hansen really doesn't, comes off the worst.
Yeah, I think Rice just misread the situation there. Hansen was about to run out of track and just had to check up ever so slightly, and Rice was fully committed to his exit and just caught him in the rear quarter panel, unfortunately. Hansen paying the price.
He did indeed, as we see Winner and Nom just sitting comfortably with one another for now. Who's going to come on top of these two? And where is Naselli going to come out after the pit stops? Is he going to still be well in contention with these two? Just looking at the clock, we've got around about 10 minutes left, 3/4 race distance completed. This is going to be fascinating to see where these guys come out as we just see the midfield battle here.
Is Naselli. Sorry, Naselli's come out in the middle of a battle which he won't have wanted. He's got Dantas in front of him, Murakami behind.
Yes, indeed, and the 199 in amongst them there as well. That is Jameson Huffman there, and this is, well, this is doing Naselli no favours whatsoever. Winner's in. Nom has decided to carry it on, ploughing his own furrow, going in alone. So now, where is Winner going to come out in relation to Naselli? Thank you.
Yep, Naselli's all on his own now because his battle partners have all jumped into the pits.
It's Huffman, Dantas and Murakami all into the pit row. As we've seen Naselli there.
He's well ahead of Winner, you know. He's got a couple of seconds on him.
Clearly not held up in that group, and maybe even helped him out a little bit with the slipstream. He definitely would have got a good slingshot of them heading down to turn one, and well, I'm almost speechless with the jump that Naselli has got on Winner. There's nearly, what, a good 2.5 seconds between them.
Yeah, last week we saw Winner winning it out in the pits over Aero Nom. He made a fantastic pit stop, really cut into Nom and overturned him, but this time he's lost a couple of seconds.
Just looking at it, there's around about 2.5 seconds difference in terms of stationary pit time, so that's where that gap has come from. So we see this, well, ever-evolving midfield battle. As you see, Mirashek just heads out to the inside, looking to get the move done over. Nunes has to back one in once more. You just saw in the foreground there. So the foreground, Brewster and Renders going side by side. They've remained as they were as well. As Nom's into the pits from the lead. Here he comes. Has he done enough? That is the next question. Has Naselli pulled off an absolute masterstroke here? How long is Nom gonna? I mean, surely, you know, he should have the. Logic says he should have the shortest pit stop time because he's got the least amount of fuel to take on. It's up to the 7-second mark, 8-second, 9-second. He's interesting. Right about half a second lower than Naselli. Well, there is Naselli coming round the centre S's. Has he done enough? This is going to be tight. They're going to come out side by side on the pit exit. Naselli's carrying all the momentum as he's already up to the speed. Nom is going to defend for his life that inside line as well. He's got the move done. Spectacular stuff from the German here in Brazil.
Yeah, that was a great lap from Naselli. He's just set a 1:48.4 there to snatch away the lead. These guys are only going to have 3 more laps of this now.
This is going to get... Well, the Albes are going to come out here. Nom's going to have to find a way past. He's going to have to do it the hard way. You bet your bottom dollar that Naselli, he's going to be scrapping like mad to keep hold of the lead. I mean, or even, I mean, we've seen it. I think we saw it here last season where it was almost like nobody wanted to lead coming on to the final lap because of the slingshot that they would get. coming out of Junkau, the final corner, as we see Mirashek there just getting past Dick. Yeah, he's got the inside of Dick there, and that is the move done. That's McCain, I think. Was that McCain off track there? It's all happening just down in the midfield. See Mirashek, well, bunching up the pack behind him a little bit just to give himself a bit of breathing space. But yeah, just let's have a look at what happened to McCain. It looks like he's lost him all by himself here, Adam.
Yeah, oh, that was an unusual one. Really got away early from him there, didn't it? Wanted to rotate on him before he'd even made the apex.
A bit of a bizarre one there for the Brit. He came down into the seat at Interlagos, and well, we head back to live and see Dick and Weiger getting really close to one another. Mirashek just able to pull a little bit of a gap over these two.
Just to pick up on your point from earlier, yeah, you don't want to be leading on the last lap, do you? When we come up to Junshao and climb the hill, any driver who's got anyone on his slipstream is going to be a sitting duck. So we head to a replay of how Nom has taken back the lead.
Well, there you go, it's going to be in the slipstream, right on the outside, past Nicelli. Nicelli, I'd imagine he's going to yield to Norman, just tuck back in behind. There you go. Are we starting to see the tactics for the final lap starting to evolve? Nom going to try and do it the hard way out in front of Nicelli. Looks like he's going to elect to sit behind, or potentially we're going to see a change and a role reversal down in turn one. Roughly about halfway through the lap, just over. Winner looks like he's down and out and going to have to settle for that third place here.
Yep, we might have just seen a dress rehearsal on the last lap for the final lap. Nicelli's going to have his go now. Let's see how much of a gap he needs to draft back from before he can overtake before the line. Well, if he can do it from here, that's some good information for the final lap, but I think he's too far back, you know. Nom taking a lot of speed through Junshao, and it's kept him in the lead. So he knows he can do it now. Maybe on the last lap he will lead through Junshao.
Nom setting his new personal best, a lap of 147.758 last time around. Really getting the hammer down now, grinding out almost quali style laps of the car, getting incredibly light now. Close to it would have been in qualifying, obviously not with the freshest of tyres, but even so, this mighty Estonia finding some grip. I don't know if you just heard that there. Nicelli lifting out of the throttle down Retta Aposta.
Yeah, he wants it out of the final corner, doesn't he? We're on the last lap now. Oh no, we're not, sorry. I'm looking at the iRacing timer. We've still got a couple of laps to go, 37 minutes on the clock, 3 to go. That should give us 3 laps, well, 2.5 now.
They should do indeed, and well, it's going to be fascinating seeing Nicelli just moving around, just trying to distract Nom. Try and snatch the lead from him, just trying to force an error. For an aero Nom, but we know he's as cool as a cucumber. As we see Lin and Murakami here. Lin heads up the inside and gets the move done. Lin up 7 places now into 10th. However, I mean, big shout out to Simon Mayer, who's actually behind these two. There he is. About a corner or two behind, up 32 places. That's right, 32, 3-2, up into 12th. A great drive from him.
Yeah, excellent work tonight from the number 5. Obviously, yeah, stayed out of trouble, made moves when he needed to. Oh, as we're side by side for the lead again. Nom on the inside, outside even.
Just locks up there. He manages to get the car turned in. Nom elects to sit behind right now as they come out of the Senna Estes. Curva de Sol and head down the Retta Aposta. Nicelli, while he's putting his flag in the ground, taking to that inside line, saying to Nom, you can do it, but you're going to have to do it the hard way, right around the outside, and Nom knows that. Just backs out a little bit. Nicelli keeps holding the lead right now. Should sense between these two. Winner, despite this battle, he hasn't been able to make any progress. So we just see, well, in the background, Marnie has managed to get past Fiore. That in the battle for 4th place right now. Well, it's all about your lead. Mirashek, he's taking a bit of a late. Well, that's an extra pit stop. Clearly, something's happened to the Polish driver there. As we see, I mean, surely this is going to be a lunge all the way down into turn 1. Well, I'm just looking at the clock here, Adam.
Yeah, we're into the last 30 seconds, aren't we? I don't think there's enough time.
I don't think there is enough time either. I think this could well be, yeah. I mean, 20 seconds from here, it's going to be tight. They're going to cross the line. They might get one more attempt, but I'm not sure they will do. An Aeronom, well, he's going to have to do something about it to cover this one off. The clock is ticking down. Here comes Nom. He's closing in on the back of Naselli. Naselli's going to hog the shortest possible line possible. But here comes Nom. They're going to drag it out down to the start-finish straight. They're going to take the checkered flag, and who's taking it? It's Nom! By the breadth of the hair. 0.003 of a second at the line. Nom takes it here in Brazil.
Marnie sees off Rory by a similar margin as well for 4th place there. Waiting on Castro, and then Bobby West, who's had a lonely race. Here comes Murakami in the draft of Lynn. Let's see if we can see a replay. Is he going to pull out?
Well, you bet your bum dollar Murakami, his foot is right through the floor now, and he's going to have a go. They go side by side, and Murakami's just going to get it once more. Well, and look at that. Exactly the same gap between Murakami and Lin as there was between Nom and Naselli. Spectacular stuff, but it's all happening on the run down to the start-finish line. You got McCain. He's trying to find a way past here, and that's going to be incredibly very close at the line. Well, there you go. It seems to be all about the gap. Seems to be exactly the same. That's the 3rd time we've had the gap at 0.038 of a second. As well, Rice there just looks like he was running a bit slow on the run up to the line. Maybe running out of fuel there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Have we had some fuel issues on the climb up to the finish line there? Lost a couple of places and shouldn't have been doing that. I think he had enough of a gap to not get drafted past, so some sort of issue right at the end there. But great racing throughout. Everyone charging up to the finish line, seeming to have someone to battle with and go side by side at the end.
Absolutely fascinating stuff in this championship once more. But, well, let's see if we can get a replay of that finish once again, as close as you like. This is how Aeronom did it. Well, Adam just pulled out exactly the right time, and as they came across the line, I mean, wow, what can you say? A wheel, not even that, probably half a wheel ahead of Naselli. And Naselli, he tried his hardest, but you know, you're susceptible, aren't you, when you've got the driver behind you in the slipstream?
Yeah, our results up there, as we've just seen, Aeronum snatching the victory right at the end there, taking it away from Naselli, who did all he could, hugging the white line right to the finish there. Unfortunately, didn't have the top speed that he wanted. Austin Winner comes home 3rd from Jörg Marni in 4th, who just saw off Rasmus Vori for 5th place. Castro, unfortunately, fell off the back of those 3. That second group of 3 comes home in 6th place from a lonely Bobby West, 17 seconds from the race victor and 9 seconds ahead of his nearest challenger, Jemison Huffman. Evandro Dantas comes home in 9th, and our Masters winner once again. We're getting bored of this, Chris. Let someone else win, why don't you? Guangxi Lin comes home in 11th, and Simon Mayer in 12th place. Thomas Renders, one of our new drivers tonight, comes home in 13th from Kurt Nunez, Jim Brewster, Andrew Love, Alan McCain there in 17th place, and Samuel Dick, number 119 in 18th. As we scroll down, we see Jason Green comes home 19th from Antonio Reyes. Got into a bit of bother, didn't he, Antonio? Manages to get it home in 20th, though, so not bad points tonight. Jamie McGuinness comes home in 21st from James Lopez, Bob Kern in 23rd, and Stevie Ray, our series organiser, in 24th. Peter Mirashek, another driver who's had some misfortunes, come home in 25th from Jeff Cantor. Austin Knight in 27th, and Flavio Andalo. in 28th. From there, we've got Guy Walbolt in 29th, Ian Gibson 30th, Bruno Conti in 31st, Todd Hansen, Andrea Favini, Justin Huffman, father of Jameson, finishing about, 28 places behind. So as I said earlier, I think Jameson's got the bragging rights in that household tonight. Johan Botenga comes home in 35th, our last driver on the lead lap from Joshua Flores in 36th, Marco Trespidi in 37th from Adam Bradshaw. And Marcus Burkitt comes home 39th, ahead of Sean Mongan, Caro, Jackson, Batley, Matthias Weiger, Jose Santiago, Luca Leone, Stephen Elson, Joshua Justice in 48th. These drivers unfortunately not making it to the end of the race tonight. John Vogel 49th, Miguel Mata, Andres Petoni, Gabriele Batti and Edgar Sanchinelli, drivers who got caught up in that unfortunate incident on the opening lap.
It was definitely a really crazy race out there today, and yet another crazy finish. And we're now joined by our winner for today, Aero Nom. Congratulations! Wow, that was close, wasn't it? I mean, as you came across the line, did you think you'd done enough, or did you know in your heart of hearts that you timed it to perfection?
Yeah, I think I knew I will get there, but yeah, it was pretty close then. But in my view, it wasn't so close. So yeah, I knew I had to stay right behind and not lock the wheels and get the run out of the last corner. And I didn't even stay that long in the draft. But yeah, I had a shorter run, but I had more speed.
It was. I mean, we saw this. When we visited Interlagos last season, it was definitely the power play to be in second place coming on to the last lap. I assumed that was within your mind to intentionally position your car to ensure that you were in second place.
No, not really. Just how it happened. I think I had better speed when I was alone. 2 laps before Mauricio didn't get any, close to the start-finish line behind me, so I was happy with any way it will go.
Definitely, and very, very different track next time out. Hungary, as we've said, to Europe. How do you feel about that one? It definitely invokes a different challenge to Interlagos.
Yeah, I have to buy it first, and I will probably test it on Saturday, and see how it goes.
Definitely, and before we let go, anyone you want to give a shout out to at all, Aero?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the sponsors, the league admins, drivers, and you there in the booth.
That's Aaron on your victor here today by an incredibly small margin here in Brazil, Interlagos. Now, next one we're going to have a chat to. You said about it while you're reading out the results, Adam, and you said, couldn't you just let someone else win in Masters? Joined by Chris Murakami now for you, Adam.
Hi, Chris. Welcome into the box.
Hey, thank you.
So, were you worried at any point tonight? You had Antonio Reyes qualified ahead of you. You must have been worried for a slight second that you might not be coming home as a winner once again.
Well, Antonio's a great buddy, and he's been having a back problem, so it's he hasn't been getting the practices in, and I wasn't too worried about Antonio, although he's always fast, and so he hasn't been able to do the lap to really be consistent, I would say. But no, I'm glad he made it back. At least his back is getting a little bit better. But I was I was in that fuel saving mode, and in between that, I don't run very good when I'm in that fuel saving mode, and it just my braking points are different, and everything kind of changes up, and it just didn't feel good out there. I'd rather be running with me and another guy, and then we could work together and get a little further. And so, yeah, I didn't know if I was going to run out of fuel. I got a fuel calculator, and it was kind of just a question mark race for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask that very question. You spent a lot of that race in and amongst battling. Were you working together for most of it, or were people being a little bit hot-headed tonight?
Well, at the beginning, I kind of wanted to battle a little bit, just to shake them up a little bit, kind of divide the field a little bit, and it didn't work. So I kind of tried to go back, where we followed each other. Eventually we did, but there was a little bit of battling it. But that's all good.
And next week we're heading over to Hungaroring. Have you had a chance to drive there yet?
I just bought that track just the other day, and I did a few laps. So it's gonna be challenging for me.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely different from Interlagos, isn't it? From a wide open racetrack to a tight and twisty one. Do you think that suits your driving?
Oh, actually, I do like the faster tracks because my brake setup isn't the greatest. So if you notice, I'm always braking early. No, I would say it wouldn't suit me as well. So I'm not expecting a lot next week.
I'm sure you'll surprise us all with another victory. Thanks for joining us, Chris. If you want to shout out to anyone before you go.
Thank the Lord and my parents, both of them for everything, and you guys and everybody that makes this league.
Thanks very much, Chris.
All right.
Chris Murakami, and a quick chance to catch up with our winner today in the Spec 2 category. For you now, Adam, it's Thomas Renders.
Good evening.
Welcome to the box.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good, thank you. First time you've joined us in this series, and wouldn't you know it, you've won Spec 2. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. To be fair, I've been competing in this series a couple of seasons ago, and I just thought I wanted to compete again. I've had some spare time, and yeah, I just hopped in. Of course, I did practice, but yeah, it's always good fun. This is a great group of drivers, and always fair and of course hard racing. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you spent your time in amongst the battles tonight. We can see you finished 13th overall, so you're always in amongst it. How was that? Was everyone playing nice, or was it a bit rough and tumble?
Yeah, of course you always have some chrome scraping here and there, but overall it was really fair. I made my own mistakes, so I have to apologize. I can't remember really who it was, but I just nudged him in the back, and he went wide because of that and falling back in the group. So sorry for that, but yeah, the battles were great. Overall, it was really fair. A bit hard sometimes, but yeah, nothing wrong. So I really enjoyed that again.
I understand we're coming to the end of the broadcast, so if you give you one last chance to just say hey to anyone, Thomas.
Yeah, again, Steve, thanks for hosting, and you guys, thanks for broadcasting, and my girlfriend for supporting me. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thomas Renders there, your winner in Spec 2, and well, if that's not been enough action for you, coming up on the channel in around about 15 minutes time is IGP Fun F3. It's round 9 for them, and they are at Nürburgring. Then tomorrow night at 8 PM GMT is the Apex Racing League Master Cup. That comes to you from Silverstone, and then on Tuesday evening at 7:45 PM it's Sim Racers World IMSA Winter Series, round 5 for them at Road America. And then on the same evening at 8 PM, so 2 cars going on at the same time. Pick of the choice there. It's the Apex Racing League GT3 Pro Trophy from Barfest. So that's going to be a definitely, well, pick of the choice there in terms to watch. And, well, what can we say? It's been another dramatic race here in Brazil. And what can we say? The finest of margins once again separating the victory. Aeronom taking the victory overall by 4 thousandths of a second. Myself, Tim Cox, Adam Hadfield and John Grabowski. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a week's time as the championship rolls back to Europe and we head to the Hungaroring.